Okay, Pops, we are back and better than ever. We have a virtual whiteboard, which I think, since we're going to live in the metaverse, is better than a real whiteboard.
I'm not living in no metaverse.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
How to factory order a car in 2022
Using a magic pencil.
using a magic pencil
Yes.
right on your magic whiteboard. We did a video for how to factory order a car in 2021.
Yes.
There is no new car inventory, so you're likely going to have to factory order in 2022. Walk us through the steps. Keep it high level, but then we can dive down into the details.
Well, first of all, you want to find a dealer that's willing to work with you. And when I say willing to work with you, they're willing to give you a price for the vehicle based off of the MSRP and no dealer installed accessories, unless, of course, you want some dealer
That's
installed.
number one, Pops, right there. Number one.
Number one.
Number one.
No dealer installed.
We've leveled up, ladies and gentlemen.
Not really.
Why'd you have to? You didn't have to write installed. Do you even know how to spell installed?
Accessories.
ACC. There you go.
Look at that.
All right. So number one, no
Yes.
dealer installed accessories.
Yes,
Find-
unless you want them.
Exactly, and a good place to find that. We've got the car dealer reviews back on the Join YA community forum.
Yes.
We had that gentleman named Pill. He called 20 different Chicago area
21. Get your numbers right.
21 different Chicago area Honda dealers to
Yes.
find the one. So that part is doing your due diligence and doing your research, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So finding the dealer.
First, you have to find the dealer. Okay. Then you have to go over the build sheet and you build. If you're at a dealership for a brand that allows you to actually build a car. Okay. A lot of brands you cannot. You can ask to see what they have allocated and see if anything that they have allocated matches what it is that you want.
Toyota's the big household name there. That doesn't do that.
Toyota, Honda, probably Mazda. Most of your Asian brands don't actually allow you to build a car per se. Your European brands do. BMW,
Okay, but if you-
Mercedes-Benz, yes. Your domestic brands allow you to actually order a vehicle pretty much the way that you would want it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say you found a dealer where you can actually order a car. So you go through, boy, that's a bad looking too. You go through your build sheet.
So the build sheet is essentially the invoice on a factory order, right?
Build sheet they can do two types of build sheets. One would just be the retail build sheet, okay, which is going to show the retail pricing of the vehicle plus the factory options and accessories that you may want or packages that you may want, and it'll show the retail pricing of those. The secondary type of build sheet that they could use, and they're not going to use it in this world, is the build sheet that reflects both the cost and the retail values. But since nobody's selling vehicles at cost or below anymore, or at cost plus a profit, it'll be harder to find that. Although certain Dodge trucks and things like that, you can get below invoice
Yeah.
even in today's world. But you're going to want to go over the build sheet and you're going to want to notate exactly what items it is that you want. Okay, and then you're going to get to a bottom line pricing, and you have to, at that point, negotiate.
It's a good looking 3.
Well, it's better than anything else I've done. Negotiate
The OTD.
your out the door price.
Nice. And so to be clear, this all happens when you're placing the order. You negotiate the out the door price when you place the order.
Yes. Now that price is going to be subject to any factory price increases, unless the factory allows you to lock in the price at the time, the retail price at the time of the order. Most manufacturers do not, but there are some that do. So if it's one that does not, then they're going to write this subject to any factory changes in the MSRP. Okay. And so let's say you agree to a number, and between the time you place the order and the time it gets built and it comes in, there's a $500 price increase. You're going to have to pay that $500 price increase plus the tax difference on that $500 price increase. That would end up getting added to your out the door number. But you always want to negotiate an out the door number.
And if you want to know more about the out the door number, just look at the links down in the description. We have all sorts of resources, both from Deal School, standalone blog posts, standalone videos. The out the door number, just to be clear, is if you had to like stroke a check So it's what's your all-in number if you were about to buy this car, and that's what you negotiate. Look at those links down below for details on the out the door
Exactly.
number. OTD.
And then you want to get a signed buyer's order.
This is big.
This is huge. The signed buyer's order by you and a sales manager or GM.
Now let me ask you a question, Pops. Can you physically draw here 2 stick figures, sign in a buyer's order?
No. There's a limit to my magic pencil. and I believe we might have reached it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was going to make a joke, but I'm going to spare us
Yeah,
both.
please,
Okay.
thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so it's signed buyer's order.
It's a pretty big magic pencil.
Get out of here. Don't do that. So,
little narrow, but big. Longer than normal. Yeah.
oh, God. So you're negotiating the out the door price, and then the signed buyer's order. Does that just explicitly state what the out the door price is? et
Yes.
cetera?
Yes.
What's the point of getting a signed buyer's order, and how do you
so
go about
that it
asking
can be
for it?
somewhat binding.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we've heard a lot of stories back in 2021, and it'll likely be the case here in 2022, where people, they ordered a car, they didn't sign a buyer's order, the car arrives, now it's $5,000 more.
Yes. And or the dealer said, well, you must take the additional dealer markup
Or additional
the market-
packages,
or the
or-
market price adjustment or the dealer installed accessories. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to spell out on that buyer's order if you want any of those accessories, then they should be included in the buyer's order. If you do not want anything, write on there, no dealer installed accessories to be added to the vehicle.
Which you've used a phrase in the past.
Yeah, when the sales manager creates the repair order, the RO for the PDI, the pre-delivery inspection, on those repair orders, he states what it is that is to be included in the vehicle at the time. So if you wanted, say, window tint, he would write on the RO for the pre-delivery inspection, window tint, floor mats, whatever it may be. If you want nothing, then they should write PDI only, no additional equipment.
There you go.
Yes, and that is how you would factory order a vehicle or order an allocated vehicle.
Now, let's talk a little bit, maybe it's like kind of step 5, but when you get to the finance officer, when does the finance piece happen? Most people are going to be financing this purchase. Does that happen when you're placing the order? Does that happen at the time of delivery?
Some dealerships might require that they run your credit at that point to make sure that you actually have the ability to be able to finance and buy the vehicle if you're going to be financing it when it does come in. So they might do that. Some might just take your word for it because they're not concerned as to whether or not you can actually buy it, because if you can't, they'll turn around and sell it to somebody else and probably add an additional dealer markup to it.
Okay, but I want to be clear. When should I expect to have my financing lined up?
They'll let you know when the vehicle's coming in, when it's scheduled to come in. I would say 30 days prior to it coming in, you should either get the VIN number from the dealer so that you can share that with your local bank or credit union. If you want to do factory financing or dealer financing, approvals are typically good for 30 days. So you want to do all that, get all that handled prior to the vehicle actually coming in.
And then the day that the vehicle's there and you go to pick it up, what should you expect then?
You should expect that all the numbers have stayed the same.
And that's when you're going in the F&I office,
Yes,
correct?
and if they have not, then, well, there's something to talk about.
Pull out that signed buyer's order.
Exactly.
All right, and then in the F&I office, that's where you're going to get hit with, all of the extended warranty, gap insurance, all those types of things. If you want them, you want them. Watch other videos.
I think the proper way to phrase that is that's where you'll be offered all those things as opposed to hit with.
Excuse me. Yes, thank
Yes.
you. And then you sign your paperwork and you're out of there. And you just factory ordered a vehicle in 2022.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and at my dealerships, what I used to do is I would also have the customer sign the build sheet, stipulating that everything that's on there is what the dealer wanted, or what the customer wanted. I didn't want there to be any confusion, and then the customer would get a copy of that build sheet, and a copy would go in our files.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Pops. That was very helpful.
Yeah, I like my magic pencil.
If you factory order a car, if you have more questions, join YAA.com. check the links down below, post on the community forum, become a member. We'll help you coach through your car deal, review the factory order, your build sheet, things like that. Check out the website. We'd love to hear how you do.
And don't remember to ask for any customer incentives that might be available at the time of delivery.
Do remember.
Yes, do remember. Don't forget.
Don't forget.
Don't
and do
forget to
remember.
ask for any customer incentives that might be available at the time of delivery.
Thanks, Pops.
My pleasure.